Well, we're doing monkey business again. I actually did this one, what, a year ago, babe, you think?
Yeah, year and a half.
Maybe a year and a half. There's like nothing on the market that I could find really, and I have a problem hiring professionals. I guess I have a complex, maybe, if I think I can maybe get it done-ish on my own. So, but yeah, I mean, I did searches and I found this motorized unit for these roll-up doors on Amazon. Kind of comedic. I found it on Amazon, and I'm like, it's the only thing I could find. I looked on eBay. I did just regular Google searches trying to find something from any company, and it was very difficult to find. But I saw these, and they were relatively cheap. I think it was right around $200. Then they went up when I bought the second one. If you look down here, there's the motorized unit. And you can see one of those little prongs looks different than the others. That's because, as you can see, I ground them with a grinder, which is right there, and a oscillating saw right there. Why, you might ask? Well, they're not made for this brand roll-up door. So those prongs, I'm assuming, would go in perfectly into whatever brand they're for. I have no idea. I couldn't find it in any literature because these are like made in wherever they're made. But they work, ish. And it's better than rolling them up by hand. It comes with a remote control. They're good. Hand me that, will you? I'm going to show up close kind of what we're talking about here. Oh gosh. There we go. So you can see those holes there are not offset the same way those prongs were. So I took some measurements and I made it so it will push in there and it will turn the door. It'll turn it. And the last time I did it, I didn't do such a good job measuring. I was just kind of eyeballing things, and you know how it is when you eyeball things. Here you go, baby. So at this point, it worked for, what, 6 months or so, and now one of the prongs, because I took too much off, I think, well, look. Oops, I don't have power. Hold on. Get the power back plugged in. There we go. I have to give it an assist, otherwise it'll bind up, because one of those prongs is gone. So it's like, no, I can't do it. So I got to give it a little bit of an assist there. It's easier if I do it right away. But it comes down, it goes back up. Oh, too late. And you play with these little dial wheels in there. It's got instructions for that. They're halfway easy to understand. And you got to set those just right, otherwise it'll keep trying to push the door down through the concrete or try to keep pulling it up through the stops. So you mess with those, play with them so that it stops, turn up. And depending on if you mount it on the left side of the door or the right side of the door, the operations are reversed. But so it works-ish. Let me do it again with actually giving it an assist from the start. You can see if I just give it that little bit, it's fine. But it can't do it on its own anymore. And again, that's because I didn't do good enough measuring on my modification on this. So you can see this one, this time around, I'm not cutting both of them down. I'm just barely trimming one, so it's got good robust. And then this one cutting a lot more. But you can see how it's a little fragile. So we'll see how it works. I'm going to get it up in here. So take a look, camera lady, up here. When you put this thing in here, oh, you're looking at this one? Okay. When you put it in here, you have to move these brackets out. Otherwise, it's not going to get in there. And of course, your pipe that the roll door is mounted to isn't really long enough for that. So it barely made it. And I used really, really high quality parts there, a block of wood, to bump it out. And I just used self-drilling screws to mount it back to the metal here. I mean, it works-ish. Hopefully this one won't break off at some point because I didn't do as much cutting on the motor unit. But it's the only thing I've seen out there. So I'll show you a couple different steps, maybe a little action maybe in the middle, and we'll go from there. Pause it. Okay, so I've taken the U-bolt off of there, and I have propped up the door with a 4x4 and a spacer, 2x4. And then I've held it so that it doesn't come forward with a piece of rope. Super probably by the manual, except there's no manual, so I'm just winging it. There's the old one. So I've got that there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this black metal bracket down, and I'm going to put a piece of wood block to space it out just like I did on the other side. And that's held up for a long time now, so it'd be fine. So I'm just going to, ooh, hey wasp. I'm going to take that bracket out, and that's going to hold it for me. It's actually better than what I did on that side, don't ask. Okay, so the string did its job. I was able to work without fear of it collapsing on me, because this thing, you know, weighs a couple hundred pounds. This is actually a piece of oak from my property that I just scrap I had laying around, and then this is just white pine. So it's screwed into here, and then this is screwed into that. Very, very according to specs, I'm sure. And then I didn't have these larger ones for this side, so I just put 3 smaller ones in, and instead of just 1, I have 2. So I went a little higher with it. Anyway, so then we have this little guy that'll clamp down. Let me see that. Now, if we do what we did on that side, though, we won't actually use the U-bolt because we couldn't. Again, remember we're using a opener that's not meant for this particular garage door. So we're going to get it as close as we can, and then what I did on this side, I'll do probably again if I can't do what I want, and just shoot a screw, self-tapping screw up through the bracket, this guy that I just showed you, and into the pipe to hold it. So where is my motor? Now this is the moment of truth to see if this will actually slip in to the slots that are on this thing. Guess I need to get my string out of the way, don't I? Pause it real quick, I'll get it. So what did we miss, camera lady? What did they miss?
It fell.
No, I cut the string without being ready for it to slide. See how I'm going to slide this way? And I don't think, yeah, it wouldn't have come all the way, probably, but it startled me. So, got the string off there. Let's see. This little guy actually is supposed to be right here. Oh yeah. This is where I remember I had to do last time. I have to bring it out. There goes my support. It's really all or nothing now. Ah! Ha ha! And then it's down. Alright. Still wants to come out though. That was kind of loud. Ooh. Come around and show that spot right there. Right there. Shoot. No, come around. I'm hoping that didn't fall and hit my controller. That's the controller. This is why you might want to hire a professional for this. All right, so I'm going to secure this and see if it works once we get it wired up. See ya. Okay, so we got it worked out, and you can see I was able to. I was trying to do what I did over there, and I broke off a bit, and then I broke off a screw in there. So that's just there. And I was forced to attempt to do it the right way. So I was able to drill 2 holes, and it barely squeezed in. So now I'm going to probably try to do it on that side too. But I was barely able to tap that U-bolt through and lock it down real good. So I love that. I've rolled it up and down a couple times manually. I went ahead and did the full setup and first try go, which is unusual for me. So it seems like a good setup. So I'm just going to really walk you through kind of what I did. I did find my manual, thank goodness, so I didn't have to do it all from memory. There's some stuff printed in here. I'll show you in a second. But if you're not familiar with it, you might not be able to figure it out. I wouldn't have been able to figure it out without the manual. So here's your manual to not manual release lever. What else? Oh, so once you have it mounted up here, on mine at least, these brackets, you wouldn't be able to pull the cover off of these controls. There's paddles in here that spin around with little gears that track the position of the door. And on that one, I was frustrated at the time, and I just broke it off. On this side, I used my my little oscillating tool, and I put a little cut along the top of it, and then I was able to snap it off nice and clean. Mess everywhere, so that I can put that back in there as a cover, so the wasps don't make a nest or whatever. So that's a good idea, just to put a little crease in there with a cutting tool, and it snaps off clean. Because if you do all the adjustments beforehand, first of all, I don't know how you would be able to, but secondly, if you got it back up there, you wouldn't be able to adjust it in the future. So anyway, there's wing nuts. Can you zoom in on that? And if not, I can hold it. There's wing nuts on this, and you can just get to them barely. I was using a screwdriver to reach the one on top. And then there's little paddles here. Probably can't see it too well. There we go. So you got the gears that spin as it goes up and down, and there's these little paddles right here. There's the top one and the bottom one, and it depends on if it's a right-hand install or left-hand install. And they engage with these, and these are the switches, these two silver switches. So when they hit that, it stops it from going further on the up swing or the down swing or down roll. So that's all that's there. And then right here is the control module, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to zoom in real close here, and I'm going to get a pointing device because my fingers are ugly. Here's where you rotate, just like it says there, clockwise rotate, increase force for up or for down, how much force it pulls up or pushes down with. The only thing, I'll tell you, just kind of cut to the chase here, the only thing I messed with was this right here. So I pushed this down, which turns the auto close off. So there's an auto close feature where if this is up, if you open the door, and you can adjust from 5 to 60 seconds, it'll automatically close the door back down. So if you leave, I wouldn't want that on. So I turned that function off. And then this little switch right here is for your right hand or left hand function. Sorry, my zoom isn't working real well there. But yeah, so this is just set to right hand, because as you look at the garage, the motor's on the right hand side. So that's called the right hand install. Let's see what else I would want to know. You got your control plug from the cover, plugs in here. Your power cord from your power supply, whatever you're using for your power supply, comes in and clicks into this white connector. And then the power that goes up to the actual door motor comes in right here, pushes in, clips in, and it's a 5-prong connector right here. It just pushes into. And that's the whole setup in there, unless you're wanting to change how sensitive things are or the delay. That's all I did for mine. So let's, without further ado, I'm going to plug this back up and show you, one-handed, plugging something in, show you it function. So, here we go. Whoop. There we go. Perfect. And then let's open it back up. so much better than the other one. So I'll definitely be going back to, I think I'm going to try to, I don't know, fill in where the tabs are kind of busted up. I'll try to fix those. And then I think that's it. That side's good to go. I mean, it's working fine over there now too. So with that, I added a little weight. If you can see that little metal weight, I put that there, and now it'll actually come down on its own. So anyway, hope that helps. Have a good one. Well, no, I take it back. Right here, that button right there is your set button, your what they call the learn button for your remote. So this is my number 2, so I'm going to hit the second one. I'm going to push that until the little light comes on. You saw the light flash, and then I just push number 2, flashed again, let me know it works, so that now, lighting, there we go. And it looks like I need to add a little weight to that door to get it to come down a little better, like I did the other one. Now we're good. Now that we got this programmed. It closes nice. Back up. All right. Now I'll see you later.